in a series in which they've been just flat out dominated, and they have a lot of people wondering what the future holds for a team that was supposed to have the brightest future in the NBA. I remember a year ago at this time, we were talking about whose future would you rather have than Boston? Well, now all of a sudden, I don't hear people talking that way. And according to Caesars, take a look at that. The best landing spot for Kyrie Irving is likely to be in the New York area, with the Nets currently as the favorites, followed by the Knicks. And we know free agency will begin at the beginning of July. What is your take on all of this, Zach Lowe? If this thing ends tonight, the way it has sort of gone to this point, with Kyrie shooting and playing hero ball and his teammates kind of standing around and looking aggravated by it, what then happens with Kyrie Irving?
I am not going to sit here and pretend to have any idea what that dude is thinking at any minute of the day, or what he's going to say today, or what he's going to say tomorrow. I will say we've come a long way from, if you'll have me back, I'll resign here, to if they lose 4-1 tonight and they get rolled, and I don't know how you guys feel, but this feels like a they get rolled kind of game tonight, you'd have to say it's less than 50-50. He comes out. It's not a good way to end the season. And I saw Jalen's comments yesterday, and I agree. I think there are some conflicting emotions within the team about whether this has worked out enough to bring everybody back. This team is not going to look like this next year.
Oh, no, not at all. And based on those odds, so here's the pro. The Nets and Atkinson, their coach, have done a terrific job of implementing a perimeter-oriented offense that allowed Dinwiddie to shine, that allowed Russell to shine, that allowed LeVert to shine. But the problem with that, if you bring in Kyrie all of a sudden, are you really going to build now around him to where it's almost like Allen Iverson in the early 2000s, where he's going to kind of take all of the shots and everybody else is going to do the dirty work?
Isn't this what just happened? Boston had a bunch of young guys who rose up in roles, and then Kyrie came back, and all those guys were allegedly unhappy. Now, if Kyrie goes to Brooklyn, let's say, Russell probably isn't there next season. He's a free agent, but LeVert's still there. Dinwiddie's still there. And they're like, hey, we took you to the playoffs.
Correct.
We were the best.
That's why I say the better landing spot yesterday would be the Knicks versus the Nets for that exact reason.
And one way or another, I mean, he can't go try and win a championship with Dinwiddie and LeVert, right? He's got to go try and win a championship with Durant or Kawhi. That's the company that he wants to keep next year wherever he does it, isn't it?
If he wants to win a championship, yeah, and the Nets can make that happen. The Nets have pathways to make that happen.
But forgetting the team, he has to go play with someone like Kevin Durant. You can't bring in Kyrie Irving and say, that's the guy we're going to build around and we're going to win a championship, because he's kind of like James Harden in the way that he plays, but he's not as effective as James Harden.
Almost nobody in the league is as effective as James.
Point.
You're asking the is he the best player on the championship team question, and the answer would appear no. But, how many guys in the whole league are? 3, 4? How many guys can we actually say that about?
A handful, only a couple of those. And while Kyrie's a terrific talent, I don't think he's the best player at this point on the championship contending team.
No, I think that has become pretty clear. And then, so on Boston, they will move in an entirely different direction. Does it feel like they have been a little bit stunted here? I mean, we've seen Gordon Hayward. A lot of that probably is the injury. It takes some time. We saw it with Paul George with that terrible fracture to the leg. Takes a little extra time to come back and be fully comfortable. But he clearly isn't playing the way he's capable of. Jason Tatum has taken huge steps back. I don't know what's happened with Jaylen Brown and guys like that. If Kyrie goes, do they all of a sudden become what they were again?
I think so. And here's the thing when you talk about stunning. This time last year, we were calling Rozier Scary Terry.
Right.
Now he's barely playing against a team that they beat in the playoffs last year against a guy that he mocked, Eric Bledsoe, who's the starting point guard and just got a $70 million deal. What do you think he's sitting on the sideline saying, playing 15 minutes, when the guy that's now taking your minutes says he shouldn't have only took 22 shots and made 7, that he should have took 30?
And the one name hovering over this that we haven't mentioned yet is Anthony Davis. Because if Kyrie Irving leaves or tells the Celtics he's leaving, I don't know that they have the wherewithal to go all in on Anthony Davis and put their chips in, and that affects New Orleans, it affects the Lakers, it affects everybody.
It feels, you and I, Jalen and I were just talking about this during the break, it feels like the entire NBA is going to get reshuffled.
It is.